Happy Friday, Dave and Julie. Sorry it's been a while since we've last got back to you. Apologies, we've been working on different aspects of your particular iteration of Bilr. Plus we've been working with LawPay to get your account set up from our side. Plus we've been working with Lawmatics to just make sure we can properly integrate the CRM into the app for you. The issue with Lawmatics is we're waiting to hear back from them on the API side of things. So if nothing progresses there, we'll reach out to you and let you know that we haven't been able to get in touch with them. It's been about a day, so we'll give them a little bit of time, but also want to let you know that we haven't been slacking in that regard. So without further ado, here is the Bilr app for the Trademark shop. So this is the mobile version. And to start with, I want to address the fact that Julie said in a lot of detail that you were very interested in the dictation aspect of it. So this is what I'd call Bilr 1.0. In June, we're going to have Bilr 2.0 with both a updated UI, a updated mobile, and an updated feature list, including timers, which we don't have in here now, and then also including a pure dictation tab. In the meantime, though, let's say you wanted to record an activity or record something on the go, what you would simply do is jump into a generic matter that we could set up for you. You could just call it general rather than matter one. So matter one, I'll select that one. Here I am recording a generic invoice or a generic activity as part of the Trademark shop's demonstration of Bilr. You'll notice that this is actually about 95% accurate. The only thing it doesn't always get are the nouns. So we can add those nouns in if they're particularly common for you. Otherwise, you just go in and correct. So I'll show you what that looks like in one moment. So you'll notice that it didn't get Bilr. It either gets Villa or B-I-L-L-E-R, Bilr. So otherwise it looks good. And once you want that to go into your version of Bilr Online, you don't have to enter any units. This is literally for the purposes of just having a generic time recording, or rather dictation tool to help you with your time recording attachments if you want. I'm not going to touch anything. You can also turn the phase codes off. So I'll submit it just to show you that it works. But alternatively, you can actually go in here into your settings and turn off the codes so that you can purely use it for a dictation feature. But again, it's going to be a more built out feature as a dedicated dictation tab in the near future. So for you, for the Trademark shop, you're a flat cost, innovative legal tech startup. And so what I want to show you is how this would be specific for the Trademark shop. So I showed Dave how this works, and Dave, forgive me, but I realized we went through a lot of things quite quickly, so I want to reiterate how it all works for both you and Julie. So hit Inc as an example client. So we've got your services here. I think you mentioned, Dave, and this is something we're working on now as well. So you'll notice that we've got an add a trademark here. We don't have add a search, and the same goes for the US aspect of it. We have add a trademark. We need to do add a search as well. So that's in process with our development team, just to give you an update on that. Let's do name and logo as search for Canada. So it's a flat cost rate in here. You'll notice the tax rate is set to 13% by default. And as I showed Dave in the new designs, which I can dig into in a moment, you can actually set that per client, and it's primary and secondary, but it will default to 13% or whatever you set your industry, your client-wide tax settings to be. So it's up to you. As much as you want to customize that, you can. Here we'll see that we've got a name and logo with search for a Canadian client, small tweaks like updating the flag, and then maybe even having a dictation field in this actual screen, as I talked with you about, Dave, earlier, or rather late last week. And let's just go ahead and see what it looks like. So generate an invoice here. Okay, great. So the way to use this in Bilr right now is I would come down into a new area that we've created for the Trademark shop specifically. To your point about being bespoke, we want to be truly bespoke and build something that's actually going to be helpful for you and used by you. So if you were to just do a invoice creation in the web app, this is what you do. You go in here, it's a very similar process, client, name with logo and search. And again, there's some small tweaks to make this more obvious when you're in the web app, like we'll add the flags here as well, and also have more detail about the actual currency that it's being issued in. In this case, if it's not USA attached to the name somewhere, it's Canadian. This is more of an MVP, just to give you guys an idea. Tax rate sets 13%, and you would save and export that. But first, let's just show that the actual invoice from the phone worked. And so what that looks like is I'll see my name and logo with search package in here, go by timekeeper 1. You can of course edit it if you'd like to. You can go into activity history and pull it up. Activity history is this one here, or activity tracker. If you want to do anything in terms of finding out the names of each of these icons, and again, it's something we're updating in the new designs, just hover over them and you'll see it. But if you're ever stuck, just click on the support button on the bottom right there and we'll get in touch or help you as soon as we can. So I select the icon, which is what I created on my phone. You guys are a LawPay client. You found us through LawPay, which is great. It's a great case study for all of us. I've logged into LawPay here. I hadn't when I was doing the demo with Dave. So let's create a LawPay invoice. We'll hit ink. Choose one of our bank accounts. We're also looking at integrating Plaid. If you have any other bank account systems that you use, please let us know. That's QuickBooks and that's Plaid that we can integrate into your bank account directly. We'd love to do that, so it all works automatically rather than you having to manually select a bank account. But this is just an MVP for the purposes of showing you how it would work. Okay, so we've got a $2,634 invoice. Hit ink requested ABN search trademark. So I will submit my invoice to LawPay. What happens here, and this is part of what we're doing with Lawmatics right now, is part of your system settings you'll have all your clients. We're integrating with Lawmatics to get all your clients in here automatically on an ongoing basis, as well as transitioning all the data. So these will be, as you can see, kind of email ready, given that you've loaded your email in here. So what the client will receive right now is an email in their inbox saying the trademark shop's requesting you pay this invoice. And if you ever want to just double check that that's actually worked out, you can head into your LawPay account here and check the Quick Bills tab. So this was today. I did one right before the call just to check it out. This was the one I showed you right now. It's got the full amount. Test account, you can click on it to get some more details here. Request for payment, attached invoice, which we created through Bilr. Let's do desktop. There you have it. And this is another area, actually is a good point to bring up during this video, that we're looking to add some customization to. For example, being able to drag it around, edit the fields in the PDF. But this is what your client will receive in an email. So it's pretty cool that you'll get a little bit more detail about what your client will actually see. And this is all loaded into Bilr through the integration with Lawmatics, excuse me. So we're actually working with them right now. We're waiting to hear back after a few requests. We've done a little bit of digging before we reached out to them at first, which was the majority of this week. We reached out to them, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday, still waiting to hear back. So we're going to chase them and follow up. And if we don't hear back, we'll reach out to you to ask your help, as mentioned before. So that was a real example of a bill going out from your phone to the desktop to the client. You can look at, for example, the Dictation MVP features here. So I created a generic here. Again, I probably should have corrected that to recording, but you get the idea. It's about 95% accurate. In the future, we're going to have a dedicated dictation tab. The designs for that are being made right now. That and the timers are the last two design features being made. And if you want us to incorporate any of your billing guidelines in, we can do that now. That would incorporate things like, more than a certain dollar limit for any client. I know you're a flat rate provider, so we can think about what that would look like on a little bit more of a customized basis. The only other thing to add, I suppose, is that I talked with Dave briefly about this, and we're going to create some small tweaks to the ad search, ad trademark features for both US and Canada for you guys. And I guess the final thing is we want to make sure you guys are doing well, as mentioned in the email. So we're going to offer this to you for free until the new version comes out, which should be hopefully when we're over the hill and away we go after coronavirus. So hope you guys are staying safe, first and foremost. So that is the demo of how it should work for you all. It's integrated with LawPay right now. We're going to add in Lawmatics. We'll chase them. You can request any features you want just by shooting us an email. We can kind of tell you yes or no and why. Trying to be a value-add partner here as much as possible. While I have this demo running, I'm going to show you some of the new designs. I've just absolutely blitzed this design screen with comments to make it as configurable yet automatic as possible. So as an example, you'll see that the intuitiveness of this is increasing over time, but we welcome your feedback. For example, little dots on your activity tab to let you know whether it's billable or not. So if you want to do pro bono work, you can do that. When you hover over it, it's highlighted. All the links are kind of clickable, as well as the individual items within the matter or flat rate project are editable. So a little bit more intuitive, hopefully. Exactly. An example here of something being more interactive or more intuitive. Same applies to the notifications here. If you get a notification of an invoice being submitted, it's going to be a little bit easier now in this new version to have it submitted and received in real time, and you can click on that and see what the relevant matter or item is that the notification is about. Some shortcuts here: create invoice, add flat cost service. This was specifically created with you in mind, actually. So I think that makes a lot of sense. The 3 categories that we're going to add is add and record hours, add flat cost service, add general expense. One more that we've decided to add is add pro bono work or add non-billable hours. You can of course do that in the line items themselves, but it's just another shortcut to add in there. If there's anything that stands out, let us know. Some more detail around this. A lot of tax rate variability that you can do client by client as well, and that's one of the big comments that we've added in. And I think that's where I'll leave it for the moment. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. If you want to see the details, I'll include a link to the new designs here, and I'll let you know how we're doing in real time on implementing them. This is close to being ready. I'd say maybe the dictation feature within the package tab on the mobile app, and those 2 dictation and timer features in both mobile and desktop version. So that's what we want to keep in mind when building this for you. And please give us active feedback. We will absolutely try our best to make this as perfect for you as possible. And we're even trying to improve the quality of UI of the charting, for example. I can show you a quick example of that in here. So there you go, a little bit more user-friendly. And I think one thing we're going to be adding in here that's not visible right now, because it focuses on billing activity, invoices and admin, is kind of gamification. So showing areas where you can do better, how your different timekeepers are doing this week, this month, this quarter, this year, however you want to stack and filter that. That's all on the table. So a little bit better looking and more in compliance with a modern SaaS design, as hopefully it's important to another legal tech company like yourselves. So thank you very much, Dave. Thank you very much, Julie. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Please stay safe, and please let us know if there's anything else we can do. We'll be in touch with things around Lawmatics and letting you know when this is truly battle ready for you at the Trademark shop. Take care. Thank you.